Everybody, I just need to know if we are live. I'm sorry, I'm a bit late. Yes, we are live finally. So, people, what's going on? Everybody doing great, nice, and absolutely fine. Okay, that's great. Okay, so people, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is me, Yawar Manzoor, and welcome to JEE English Unacademy. Today, in this lecture, we will be talking about that's nothing but angular momentum. Okay, what is this angular momentum all about? That's what we're gonna be talking about in the today's session. Okay, in detail and some of the problems as well. And before that, this is a piece of information about me. You can definitely read it out from the screen itself. And yes, good evening, good evening. Now, people, once we are done with this chapter, once we are done with any of the lectures, we send notes in our Telegram channel, okay? If you people want to join that, this is the Telegram link exactly. It'll be in the description below as well. So join it as soon as possible. And next thing exactly is if you haven't subscribed to JEE English Academy, just do it right away as soon as possible, okay? And hit that bell notification so that you'll get the update every single time whenever we come live, okay? Now, the point is, if you want to learn, if you people want to learn from the top educators of the country, okay, I would say the next level educators of the country, you are supposed to join this plus and you are supposed to join this iconic subscription, okay? In this plus, there are so many benefits that you can exactly get. If you want to take your rank to the next level, yes, everybody mark their attendance. Yes, I'll be sending you the yesterday's notes as well. Everybody mark the attendance as soon as possible. That's by hitting the like button, okay? And people, if you get this plus subscription, what are the benefits that you can exactly get? You'll be getting live classes every single day. So many educators are teaching you in a particular category. If you have this plus subscription, you can watch anybody's lecture. You'll be getting weekly tests. Once you are done with the entire stuff that you have studied for the entire week, afterwards, you'll be getting this weekly test. And then you have the structured courses, okay? The courses which have been designed by the top educators of the country, and unlimited access. Unlimited access is basically you can watch anybody's lecture any damn time. Even you can create your own batch by selecting different educators, your personal favorite educators. You can create your own batch, okay? Next thing over here, I can definitely say that is nothing but if you take this iconic subscription, you'll be getting all the benefits you get in plus and some of the extra benefits as well. Like we have personal guidance. This personal guidance is all about basically personal mentorship. An educator will be helping you 24/7, okay? 24/7. You need any sort of clarifications, you have any sort of doubts, you can directly ask him. He will be guiding you and you'll get to know everything, okay? Whatever the doubt you have. Test analysis. Once you are done with your tests, afterwards you need to analyze your test scores so that you'll get the better scores in the upcoming time as well. Experts guidelines. The guidelines which you need to exactly follow. Understand? What are the guidelines you need to exactly follow in order to crack JEE Mains and Advance exam? Study material, study planners as well. Next thing is for how much amount of time you can take this plus and iconic subscription. You can take this plus subscription for 12 months, 18 months, 24 months, 6 months, 3 months, okay? These are the prices mentioned over here. And this is my code Yawar. You can use it to get the maximum possible discount. And you can use this code Yawar to get the maximum possible discount as soon as possible. Go for it. Understand? Even no cost EMI is available, okay? No cost EMI. What is this no cost EMI? Means you don't have to pay the entire amount at once. You can pay it monthly basis, okay? So, and you don't have to pay any sort of interest, okay? Love sir is busy with something, okay? He'll come. Don't worry about that. Chill scenes, bro. Okay, and next thing is these are the batches which are running inside Unacademy right now, okay? So if you people want to take your rank to the next level, go for it. And this batch has started from 20th of October. So join it as soon as possible. Join it as soon as possible, okay? This is for class 11th as well, okay? You can definitely take this class over here for JEE 2023 people as well, okay? you can definitely join this class because I'll be talking about the angular momentum in detail. Okay, everybody's okay. I'll be talking about those terms also. Don't worry about that. Okay. 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 Thanks, man. Means a lot. Means a lot. Come on. And this is what? This is the counseling sessions that's going to happen on 30th of October. Okay, go for it. Completely for free. Use my code Yawar in these sessions. Okay, top educators will be available over there. They will be guiding you. And this is the T20 test series. Go for this test series as well. Use my code Yawar. Okay, in this one as well. So, and this is what Unacademy has produced in JEE 2021. And this is what Unacademy is known for. Okay. Okay, this is what Unacademy is known for. Understand? We have produced the double-digit ranks in JEE Advance 2021 as well. Okay. And definitely we can check it out from the screen itself. This is the scholarship test that happens on every Sundays. Go for this one in order to basically take this one. Now, we need to basically go for angular momentum. What is this angular momentum all about? Anybody in the live chat who can tell me what is this angular momentum all about? Huh? Can you guys tell me what is this angular momentum? Let's basically take the feel of this angular momentum. Listen to me very carefully, okay? What is this momentum? Do you guys know what is the meaning of momentum? In our Newton's laws of motion, I have told you the definition of momentum, exactly what this momentum is. Even I have told you relativistic momentum. Even I have told you non-relativistic momentum. Everything we have discussed in detail over there, okay? Now, listen to me. If I say, for example, this is a mass over here. Understand? This is having the mass m, velocity v. Okay. This is moving with some velocity v. Understand? Let me just make you understand what momentum is all about. Okay. Let's basically understand the momentum. What is momentum? Listen to me very carefully. I'll make you understand what this momentum is all about. That is momentum. Okay. See, before understanding momentum, angular momentum, you should know what is linear momentum all about. See, if I talk about this linear momentum, we say linear momentum is nothing but product of mass and velocity. Understand? I'll give you an example. I'll make you understand this with a beautiful example. Listen to me very carefully. If I say, for example, there is this truck over here. Okay. This is a truck. Okay. This is a truck. Okay. This truck is moving with some velocity v. Okay. This truck is moving with some velocity v. And this is a wall in front of this truck. When this truck is moving with some velocity v, if I say, for example, this truck will hit this wall, what's gonna happen? So basically this truck will basically destroy this wall completely. Understand? This is gonna break this wall completely. Can I say it something like that? Because this truck is having a lot of mass, ultimate amount of mass, and velocity is also good. Understand? So it's having a good velocity as well. So I say it is having a great momentum. Momentum is what? Try to get the feel of momentum. I won't be able to make you understand momentum with a proper definition. Just try to understand this. We say this is having a lot of momentum. Momentum means whenever a mass comes in motion, we say it has momentum. Whenever a greater mass comes in motion, we say it has momentum. This is having tremendous amount of momentum, lot of momentum. Train is moving with hell lot of speed. Train is having ultimate amount of mass. We say this is having a hell lot of momentum. Understand? We say, bro, you got a lot of momentum. You try to get the feel of this one. Now, if I say, for example, there is this toy car. Okay, this is a very small toy car which is having very less mass. Understand? So when this toy car is moving with some great velocity, if this mass will basically hit this wall, what's going to happen to this wall? Nothing, because this is having very small mass. So in order to break this wall, we should have a greater mass as well as greater velocity. Now, if I say, for example, this is having the greater mass, this truck is moving with with very less velocity. Understand? Something like this. Okay, like a walking velocity. A man is basically walking like that velocity only. Understand? So when this truck will exactly hit this wall, this wall is very strong, made up of concrete. Okay, so nothing is gonna happen to this wall because this is having very less amount of velocity. So in order to break this wall, that is over here, in order to break this wall, you should have both mass as well as velocity. You should have greater value of mass as well as greater value of velocity. So we say when we have this one, when we have mass, when we have velocity, when any mass comes in motion, we say a third quantity is basically being generated. That is what we call the momentum. We represent this momentum by this P. Understand? This is the momentum. How much momentum you have. This is having ultimate amount of momentum. So more the mass of a body, more will be momentum. Less the mass of a body, less will be momentum. More the velocity, more will be momentum. This was all about the momentum. Fine. So this is the stuff that comes in linear motion. Relativistic momentum, non-relativistic momentum, we don't have to talk about that for now. Okay. So we say, ladies and gentlemen, this is all about what? The linear kahani. Okay. Linear motion mein we study this linear momentum. Okay. Now let's talk about the angular momentum. Let's talk about the angular momentum exactly. I'll use this color exactly. Let's talk about this angular momentum. Now see, let's talk about this angular momentum. Angular momentum. That's what we call linear momentum. This is what we call the angular momentum. See, listen to me very carefully. If I say this mass is basically moving in a forward direction, understand this is having the momentum of, we say, sir, P is equal to, that is mass times the velocity. That's okay, fine. Okay, chill scenes. Now, if I say I have this mass exactly over here, understand this is moving with some velocity. I call that velocity V. Listen to me very carefully. I want everybody of you to, come on, all of you, come on, let me know in the live chat if you can basically, if you're understanding this one properly. Okay, so this is a mass that's moving with some velocity V. Now I'm asking you one single thing over here. You come and you sit at this point, is wale point pe baith jao, okay, idhar wale point pe. You just come and you sit it over here, understand? You sit over here, understand? This is the point, exactly, understand? Which is, for example, at, I would say, this is at, for example, I would say R distance. Isko thoda aise banata hu, which is, for example, at how much distance? You'll say, sir, this is at R distance. Understand this. Now, when you are analyzing this mass, understand, it is, you are over here, the mass is exactly over here, understand? Now this mass is moving in this direction, like this. This mass is moving in this direction. You are exactly sitting over here. This is you. This is you. This is you. Okay, this is you. So you are basically sitting over here. Okay, now this mass is moving in the forward direction. I'm asking you one single question. Is this mass moving angularly with respect to this point, with respect to you? Definitely yes, 100%. See, if you keep on focusing on this mass only, for example, this is the mass that's moving something like this. If you keep your eye on this mass only, so with respect to you, with respect to your eyes, this is moving angularly, because if you have to focus on this one, you have to basically tilt your what? Neck. We call it neck, huh? Okay, you have to basically tilt your neck if you have to keep your eyes on this mass only. So we say, with respect to this point, with respect to you, this mass is basically moving angularly. Understand? This is moving angularly. I hope you're getting the feel of this one. Okay, simple concept. Understand? With respect to this one, if I talk about with respect to this point, this is moving linearly. Understand? If I say, for example, this mass over here is moving, for example, something like this. So with respect to this point, this is moving linearly. Can I say it something like that? Because this is going in a straight direction. With respect to this point, if the mass is going something like this, I say this is moving angularly. Can I say it like that? So this mass is basically moving angularly in that case. This mass is basically moving angularly in that case with respect to this point. Understand? If I, for example, make the angle also, this is theta. Understand? Take this line over here. For example, this is theta. So this is making theta. Understand? Over here, we say there will be this theta. Over here, we say there will be this theta. Understand? So this is happening over here. This theta will keep on changing. Understand? The mass moves over here. Theta will basically change. If it comes over here, theta will be this. If, for example, the mass is over here, so this will be theta. So with respect to this point, with respect to you, the mass is moving angularly. Listen to me very carefully. If I say this mass is, any mass is in motion, we say it has momentum. This mass is in a motion, we say it has momentum, because product of mass and velocity gives you nothing but momentum. So we say this is a mass that's in motion. This has momentum. Understand? Now, the point over here is that you guys need to understand is about this point, about this beautiful point, about you. This mass is moving angularly. So we say about this point, this beautiful point, this mass will have angular momentum. How many of you people understood this one? Come on. In the live chat, I just need to know. Give me a thumbs up, man. Come on. Just waiting for your thumbs ups. You getting me what I'm trying to say? Everybody. Okay? See. Yes, yes, yes. It has to be crystal clear. So what I'm trying to say exactly is that about this point, this mass is basically moving angularly, okay? This is doing angular motion, because if you keep your eye on this mass particularly, the mass is basically moving something like this. So you just have to tilt your neck, understand, you just have to tilt your face if you are supposed to basically keep your eye on this mass particularly, understand. So we say this mass is having angular momentum about this point. What is momentum? Momentum is nothing but that heaviness, understand, kind of heaviness, understand. Whenever any mass comes in motion, it has momentum. Same momentum it will be having over here, but this is moving about this point angularly. So we say this will be having angular momentum about a point. That's why you might have heard from a lot of people that we define angular momentum about a point. So over here, this is the point. There will be another point about this point. This will be having the another angular momentum. Understand? You getting me? Momentum in rotation, momentum in angular motion is nothing but angular momentum. Like torque, we say about this point, this will be having torque. Why? Because about this point, this is basically doing the angular motion. Whenever there is this rotation, angular motion, we say there are angular quantities involved. Understand? About this one, you getting me what I'm trying to say, or you attach a string to this one. Understand? So when you basically keep on moving, that string will basically change something like this. That string will basically move in an angular motion. You getting me what I'm trying to say? Everybody, this is what is the real feel of angular momentum. This is what we call the real feel of angle. This is what we call the goosebumps. Okay, fine. So this was all about this. Now we say this is the angular momentum. This is the linear momentum. What is angular momentum? See, you might have studied previously that. See, we say momentum is, see, in case of torque, what is torque? That is moment of force, rotational version of force. Understand? Or we say rotational effect of force. We say turning effect of force. That's what we call the torque. If we define momentum, can I say this is moment of momentum, or simply momentum in angular motion, momentum in rotation? Can I say it's simply something like that? So we represent this angular momentum with this L. Understand? It's a vector. We represent this angular momentum with this L. Understand? So we say this angular momentum is nothing but that is moment of momentum. This angular momentum is nothing but that is moment of momentum. So how can we exactly write that? Can I say this will be exactly that is R cross this P? Yeah, why am I writing this R cross P? In case of the torque, we say torque is nothing but, we say, sir, that is nothing but R cross this F. Understand? RF sine of theta. So what is that? That is moment of force. That is rotational version of force. Understand? That's why R cross F. See, why am I writing this R? Because this is the R is the radius over here. Understand? This distance from this point. About this point, this is rotating. This is doing some sort of rotation, angular motion over here. Okay? Good evening. What's up? What's up? What's up? Okay, same. That's why exactly I'm saying you over here. So this is nothing but what? R cross P, moment of momentum. That is momentum in angular motion, momentum in rotational motion. Understand? This is the meaning of that. Understand? R cross P, like we have R cross F. I hope you got the feel of this one. Now, if I further try to write this one, see, R cross P, we said this is nothing but, sir, you just write it, that is P is equal to MV. So we say this is R cross, this is M into this V, simply. Understand? We can simply say it something like that. So further, if you take this M out, we can simply say this is, sir, R cross this V, M into this R cross V. M is a scalar over here. So this will be the first formula for your, okay, this will be exactly your first formula. Do we have one more slide? Okay, we have this one. Okay, this will be your first formula exactly. Understand? You call this as a first formula. So second one, I can definitely write it over here. If this is L is equal to M into R cross V. Understand? You keep this in your mind. Understand? This will help you in solving the problems. Okay. Now, R cross V, A cross B. Can I say R V sine of theta? Understand? So over here, M into R cross V. Can I say further? I can simply write this as that is nothing but M into that is R V. And this is sine of theta exactly. This will be your another formula. Understand? RV sine of theta. I'll give you the feel of all the formulas. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that, man. Fine. So momentum, angular momentum is nothing but MRV sine of theta exactly. Understand? MRV sine of theta. Listen to me very carefully. This formula, do you want the feel of this formula? If you want the feel of this formula, just listen to me very carefully. Okay? Exactly. Thanks, man. Means a lot. Munazir. Okay, so we have over here L is equal to MRV sine of theta. Everybody listen to me very carefully. Let me just give you the feel of this equation, what this is all about. See, if we have, for example, this equation over here, understand, for example, this is the mass moving something like this, understand? Let me just draw it over here. This is the mass, understand, that is moving with a velocity v. About this point, we say this has angular momentum, okay? Defined, okay? Not a problem. We say this is R. Now, this is MVR sine of theta. If I say basically this is V, and can I resolve this V in two components? You'll say, sir, it is very easy, not that difficult. So this will be, if I say, for example, this is making the theta with this one. Theta is the angle between R and V. ये R है, ये V है, ठीक है ना? ये R को extend करोगे ना? When you extend this R, this will be exactly the theta, or you can simply say this will be exactly the theta over here. Understand? So this is theta. So this is V. Can I say this will be exactly, that is nothing but V cos of theta 100%? Can I say this component will be exactly, that is nothing but V sine of theta 100%? Listen to me very carefully what I'm trying to say over here. So this is V sine of theta, this is V cos of theta. And about this point, you just tell me one thing. Listen to me very carefully. This V cos of theta, if I talk about this point, this V cos of theta will take this mass in a linear motion. Understand? This will take this mass in a straight line motion. So no angular motion will be there. No more angular momentum will be there. Now, this velocity V sine theta, about this point, this is basically rotating this mass. So this will contribute to what? Angular momentum. V sine theta will contribute to angular momentum. Come on, I just need to know if you're getting the feel. Come on, man. I just need to know if you're getting the feel of this one, okay? So we say over here, this V sine theta will contribute to angular momentum. Why? Because this is taking the mass in angular motion. This will perform the angular motion over here. The mass, because of this velocity, or you say basically something like this, because of this velocity, mass will perform the angular motion. अरे इससे तो ये velocity तो खींच रही है इसको ऐसे straight line में. About this point, okay? Yeah, about this point. Oh, that's great. Attendance laga di. Yeah, about this point, this mass is basically going in a linear motion. Understand? So about this point, this velocity is basically because of this velocity, this mass is moving angularly. So this will contribute to angular momentum. So can I say this is V sine theta? Tabhi yahan V sine theta. That's why we have V sine theta in the angular momentum formula. Okay. Do you want me to give you the more feel? So we can definitely write this as L is equal to, that is MV, MR. This is MR and this is nothing but V perpendicular. Why? Because this is the perpendicular component. इसको लिख सकता हूं ना, that is V perpendicular, because this is perpendicular to radius. Understand? We are supposed to find the theta between radius and this V. Understand? So we say this is the perpendicular component. 90 बना रहा है ना? ठीक है? Everybody. So that's why MRV perpendicular. This is the another formula. Okay, let me give you more feel. Let me give you more feel. If you take this formula, we can write this as L is equal to, that is MV R sine theta, R sine of theta. Do you want the feel of this one as well? Listen to me very carefully. ये जगह ही नहीं है यार. चलो इधर है. L is equal to, that is M. इसको rub करता हूँ. I just need to rub this one, man. A lot of people feel basically this is one of the difficult topics in rotation. Do you feel this is difficult? When you learn this topic like this, do you still feel the difficulty in this topic? Or are you getting the goosebumps? You're getting the real feel. So we say L is equal to, that is MV, and this is R sine of theta exactly. Understand? R sine of theta. If I say this is the mass exactly, understand? This is the velocity over here. About this point, this will have angular momentum. Okay, this is R. This is the radius R. So this velocity is over here. Now, can I just resolve this R in two components? You'll say, sir, this will be the first one. Okay, this will be the first one. And this will be the second one, or something like this, parallel shifting of factors. So if this is theta exactly, if this is theta, can I say this will be exactly, this is R cos of theta, and this will be R sine of theta? 100%. Now, if you take this R sine theta and this V, see, they are making 90 degrees with each other. If they combine, they will make this body to move in angular motion. Understand? Angular motion. they will basically make this body to move in angular motion. Now see, this r cos theta and this v, both are in the same direction. Theta between this v and this r cos theta is 0. So can I say, if I take this one, angular momentum will come out to be 0 in that case? So that's why we are saying we don't take this one, we take r sine of theta. That's why we have r sine of theta in its equation. Understand? Because of this r sine of theta, this mass is moving angularly. Because, are you getting me what I'm trying to say? This velocity, this r cos theta, and this one, mv r sine of theta, where theta is the angle between r and v. Over here, if I say, for example, this is this velocity, if I say, for example, this is the r dash, what is the theta between r dash and this v? You'll say, sir, 0. So mv r dash sine of 0, 0. So angular momentum 0. So that's why this will contribute to angular momentum. That's why we have this over here. That's why we have this over here. Everybody getting this one? Come on, man. Everybody getting this one? Everybody getting the feel? I just need to know, man. It's gonna be okay, okay. Okay. So this is all the stuff that you have for angular momentum exactly. Now, you will say, sir, how to find the direction of this angular momentum exactly, huh? See, this is r. This is exactly this r if you elongate this r, understand? So we say angular momentum is nothing but that is m into r cross v. Go from r to v, curl your fingers from r to v, thumb will point inwards. In that case, we say over here angular momentum will be exactly inwards, understand? So this is how you can find just the normal case, understand? Like you get the direction in the previous cases as well. In smaller angle you are supposed to find, understand? In smaller angle you are supposed to go. So it'll be something like this, it'll be something like this, it'll be something like this, it'll be something like this. Yeah. Everybody, okay? No. Now if I say, for example, this is the mass which is going with the velocity, I call this v1. And this is the radius exactly. If I say, for example, about this point, this is the radius exactly r1. In this case, can you tell me angular momentum? Go from this to this, outwards. So we say outwards, we say inwards. Everybody. Come on, man. You getting it? Okay, angular momentum. So this was all about the angular momentum about a point. Understand? You can call it, for an instance, that is translational angular momentum. Understand? Translational angular momentum or angular momentum about a point. This about point. Like previously we have studied torque about a point. About this point, this mass is basically moving angularly. We say this is having angular momentum about this point. That is what we call the angular momentum about a point or translational angular momentum. Now people, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have over here that is angular momentum of a purely rotating body. If we have a body over here that is rotating about an axis, if we have this Unacademy's bottle, okay, over here, if I say this is rotating about this axis, okay, this is the axis, okay, about this axis, what will be the angular momentum of this one? Okay, this is rotating, there is a rotation. What will be the angular momentum of this one? That's what we need to exactly talk about. You getting the feel, man? Everybody? Come on. Angular momentum of a purely rotating body. If I say, for example, the body is, for example, something like this, I'll make it an arbitrary body over here. Okay? A second. This is a body. If I say, for example, this body is rotating about this axis. This body is basically rotating about. This body is basically rotating about this axis. Understand? We say this body is basically rotating about this axis. Okay? This is purely rotating body. Purely. That was the angular motion about a point. This is purely rotating. Something like this. We have disc. We have rods. We have different objects which can be rotating about an axis, okay? Or you just fix it, understand? If, for example, there is a body, something like this, okay? You just fix it over here, understand? Fix it. This is what we call the pivoted point. Now start rotating this body, understand? There is a disc, okay? You take that nail, okay? If, for example, you have a disc, you take a nail and basically fix it in the middle of the disc. Then you start rotating that disc. That is just the example of this one, okay? I'm just showing this in terms of the axis exactly, okay? This is the perfect example that you can understand in that case. Okay, I hope you're getting the feel, man. Now see, we say we are supposed to find the angular momentum of this body. Understand about this axis. We know how to find the angular momentum of a mass, point mass, okay? About a point exactly. This is a mass. We know how to find its angular momentum about this point. We'll use the same concept over there as well. We'll use the same concept over there as well. Now see, we'll take a small mass exactly over here. I call that, for example, M1 mass, okay? This is M1 mass. About this axis, which is the radius, for example, R1. This is at R1 radius from this axis exactly. I'm taking a very small mass over here. What is the approach by which I can find the angular momentum of this body? That's what I'm trying to show over here. So at R1 distance, I'm taking the small mass, okay? Now, if I say this mass is basically moving, this mass is basically, it will have the linear velocity, understand? If there is a body in rotation, okay? It has a linear velocity, okay? Do you have confusion in that, man? If there's a rod, this rod is basically rotating over here. I hope your basics is clear, okay? This is a rod, this rod is exactly rotating over here, okay? Now, this rod is rotating. If I ask you to take this point A, analyze this point A, understand this, ye rod rotate kar rahi na, analyze this point A. Now see, if you are looking over here, if you are basically sitting over here, you are observing this point from the center, from this axis, from the pivoted point. You will say, sir, from this point, this is basically moving in angle. ये एक angle cut कर रहा है, यहाँ पे पहुंच गया, ठीक है ना? It is doing basically angular motion. It will have angular velocity, angular displacement, okay? अब मैं बोल रहा हूं तुम लोगों को, you just come and you sit on this point itself. ये बड़ा सा थोड़ा point है. You come and you sit on this point itself. When you came and you are sitting on this point itself, यहाँ पे, now, you tell me one thing. Will you feel like you are going in a linear motion? By तुम लोग इसी पे हो. You are on this one only. Understand? You are going in a forward direction. From this frame, this is doing angular motion. When you are basically sitting at this block only, this point only, you will feel like, by मैं आगे जा रहा हूँ. You are going in a forward direction with linear velocity. I call that V. Understand? This is what we call the linear. There is a relation between linear velocity and this one. V is equal to R times of omega. This is what we call the tangential velocity. Okay. Any sort of confusion if you have in this one, then watch my first lecture of circular motion. Available on this channel only. So, we say simply over here, this will have some velocity. Rotate kar raha hai na, it will have what? Linear velocity in that case. So, can I say, I call that, for example, V1. Can you tell me, this is having mass, this is having radius, this is having V. So it will have what? That is linear momentum. Sorry, it will have angular momentum exactly. Arey bhai, mass hai, velocity hai, and angle between this R and this V 90 degrees exactly over here. Can I say L is equal to, that is mv R sine of theta? I can use this formula. Abhi nikala na. This is how we find the angular momentum of a mass. So we said, sir, for this one, I call that, for example, L1. This is the mass one. This will be M1, and this will be exactly V1, and this will be exactly R1. M1, V1, R1, M1, V1, R1, M1, V1, R1. Understand? So we say in that case, because sine theta is the angle between this R1 and this one, that is 90 degrees. Sine 90 is, that is 1, I guess. Okay. So that's why I'm writing this one. Okay. Now you take another point. Sir, we can find the angular momentum of this one. अब मैं बोल रहा हूँ इसका velocity V2 है. Okay. This is the radius R2. Its mass is M2. The people who are in 2023 batch, they can definitely go for this one. Okay. So for this, we can write L2 will simply be, that is nothing but M2, that is V2, and this will be R2. Can you tell me what is the direction of this one? Okay. R cross V. Understand how to find the direction of this one. See, for this mass, velocity is this. This is the radius. Okay. This is the radius and this is velocity. R cross V. R cross V. Can I say this will be exactly outwards? So I'll just write it over here. This will be outwards, understand? Or you can say basically this is anti-clockwise. We take anti-clockwise as positive. We take anti-clockwise as what? We take anti-clockwise as positive. We take anti-clockwise as outward. Understand? You getting me what I'm trying to say? And clockwise as negative. Completely depends upon you. Now, what about this one? You will say, sir, this one, if I say, for example, this one, this is what? That is radius. Understand? This is what? This is V2 and this is R2. Go from this to one, this to this will be also outward. So can I say this will be also outward? So both are in outward. If you take any of the points over here, find the angular momentum of all those points about this axis, So that will come out to be something like this only. Then you are supposed to find the net angular momentum. All those angular momentums, small angular momentums will be exactly outwards only. Small angular momentums will be outward. So if all are in the same direction, upward, outward, all are in the same direction, so we can definitely add them. Understand? So this will be L1, L2, L3 up to infinity. Understand? So simply you add all of these angular momentums. So can I say in that case, sir, this L net will come out to be, that is nothing but L1 plus L2 plus L3, L1. अरे ये हो गया ना L2 जगह है क्या? Purely rotating body. हाँ ठीक है. Plus this L3 plus ये so on. 100% I can definitely write it like that. Up further, I can say, sir, this will be L net will be exactly. अरे यार. One second, man. Just need to switch this off. हाँ बंद हो गया. Okay. Yes, he's on a long leave. He'll come for sure. Okay. So we say over here, what is the L1? You will say, sir, that is nothing but M1. That is V1 and that is nothing but R1 plus M2, V2 and this will be R2 exactly. Similarly, plus and so on. So I'll just write it over here now. So can I just say L will come out to be, see, we have studied the relation between V and R. Understand? V is equal to, that is R times of this omega. Understand? V is equal to R times of omega. V is equal to R times of omega. Everybody, so we have V is equal to R times of omega exactly. Listen to me very carefully. So this is the relation. So can I put it over here? Instead of this V1, I can put basically this one. This is the relation between linear velocity and angular velocity, tangential velocity and angular velocity. So I can definitely write it over here. That is nothing but M1, V1 and R1. So it will be M1 and over here this will be R1 and this is omega. This is omega and this will be R1. A lot of people have questions, sir, why not omega 1? Plus, this will be M2, this will be R2, this is omega and this will be R2. And plus so on, it will be something like that, okay? I'll just write it over here. So, because V is equal to R times of omega. Understand? Everybody? Sorry. Okay, so we have this one. So tomorrow in Kashmir is the snow prediction, okay? From my side. It's October only, okay? From my side. I don't know. Let's see what's gonna happen tomorrow. Then I'll make a video for you people. Now see. So, okay, you have this question in your mind, sir, why this omega, why not omega 1? See, if we have, for example, this body, understand this body is basically rotating. This is a rod which is rotating about this point. Okay, this is rotating. If I talk about this point exactly over here, if I talk about this point, okay, this is the point A, this is the point B. So you'd say, sir, this will be having velocity V1, this will have velocity V2. Different points of a rotating body will have different linear velocity, but same angular velocity. I'll tell you why. See, if I talk about this point, velocity is what? That is how much a displacement it has covered upon time. Understand? Isne itna kiya. Come, linear displacement I am talking about. So this has more, this will be having more, or forget about that. Don't take that. Understand? So we say this will be having more velocity, this will be having less velocity. V is equal to R times of omega. Understand? See, simply for this one, the first one, don't consider the first one, take this one. So we say for this one, if I use this formula, that is for this point A, VB, that is nothing but, if I say from this point to this point, this is nothing but R2, that is R2 times of this omega. For this point, you'll say, sir, this is R1. VA is nothing but, that is R1 times of omega. So clearly we can see over here, R2 is greater than this one. R1 is basically less. So we say this R2, this V2, this VB will be greater than this one because R2 is more, over here R2 is less. So similarly, we say basically the amount of time this point will take from this point to this point Understand? Same amount of time this B will take from this point to this point. Understand? So this covers more distance in less time. This covers less distance in same amount of time. This covers this much of distance in, for example, 1 second. This covers, for example, this covers this distance in 1 second. This will cover the same distance, more distance in that 1 second only. Understand? Hey, samajh aa raha hai kya? I hope I'm not confusing you. If I'm talking about this point B, this point B is basically going from this point to this point. ठीक है ना? It is taking some amount of time. Or if I'm talking about this point A, this is taking some amount of time. I'll say 1 second. ये भी तो उसी 1 second में ज़्यादा distance travel कर रहा है ना? This point is covering the same distance in less amount of time. So we say this is having more velocity. अब let's talk about the angular velocity. If this is a rod exactly, okay, this rod is basically rotating something like this. I'll just show you over here. This is a rod exactly, okay? This rod is basically rotating something like this, okay? अगर मैं बोलूं तुम्हें, what is the angular velocity? You'll say, sir, कितना theta इसने cover किया? How much theta it has covered in how much amount of time? Okay, so this point has covered basically this much of theta. This point also has covered same amount of theta, same angular displacement. Rate of change of angular displacement for both will be exactly same. Okay, this is just the basics that you should exactly know. That's why omega is same and this R1, R2 is exactly different in that case. Okay. Now let me just, so because V is equal to R times of omega. So can I just write this will be exactly, that is M1 and this will be R1 square, this will be omega plus, this is M2, this will be R2 square, this will be omega plus, so on exactly. So we can say this L will be exactly, this will be M1 R1 square. So I can simply say this is nothing but what is moment of inertia. If this is the mass M, this is radius R, moment of inertia of this mass will be exactly that is mr square. So can I use the same concept over here? This is M1 R1 square. So I call this as I1, this is omega plus, this is I2, this is omega plus, I3, this is omega. Take this out. So L will be exactly that is this omega and this will be I1 plus I2 plus I3 and this will be exactly so on. Can I say it like that? See, this is the moment of inertia of small masses. Understand? If I add these all moment of inertias, I'll get the net moment of inertia. L is equal to, that is instead of this, I'll write I, that is the net moment of inertia, I times of this omega. This is the angular momentum of a purely rotating body. Understand? That is L is equal to I times of omega. Fine. If we have a disk over here, I'm asking you to tell me the moment of inertia of angular momentum of this disk. If we have this disk exactly over here, understand? If I ask you to tell me the moment of inertia of, angular momentum of this disk about this one, you will say, sir, about this axis which is passing through its center of mass. You will say, sir, L is equal to, that is moment of inertia of this disk about center of mass multiplied by omega. You will say, sir, mr square by 2 times of this omega. So this is what we call the angular momentum of this disk. Okay, in that case, this is what we are, how we are supposed. Everybody understood this one? Come on, give me a thumbs up or signal, whatever you want to say. So this is, if I say this is a disk. Okay, mass and M is the mass of the disk and R is the radius of this disk. Now we have this question which was asked in JEE Mains 2021. What is this question all about? See. Everybody understood this? Now see, we exactly have this question over here. Okay, listen to me very carefully. If I say, for example, find the angular momentum of about point A and point B, listen to me very carefully. If I say there is a particle, understand, which is basically rotating in a, which is basically moving in a circle. Okay, this is a particle which is basically moving in a circle. Let me just make it something like this. This is the particle which is exactly moving in a circle. Okay, ये बनाता हूँ. This is the particle which is exactly moving in a circle. Listen to me very carefully. Okay, now what I am exactly asking you to tell me the moment of angular momentum about this point A. Tell me the angular momentum about this point A. Okay, this is the point A, and tell me the angular momentum about this point B exactly. Okay, this is the point B exactly. Okay, this was asked exactly in JEE Mains 2021. This is the point B. Can you tell me the angular momentum about this point A and about this point B? This is a particle that is moving in a circle, something like this. You're supposed to tell me the angular momentum about its center and the point which is exactly at this height, exactly which is aligned to its center only. ऊपर पे रखा है, ठीक है ना? इस वाले point पे of this angular momentum. Okay. So what happens with the angular momentum? Will that be constant in magnitude as well as in direction in both the cases? और इधर पे कांस्टेंट रहेगा मैग्नीट्यूड में, डायरेक्शन में नहीं, इधर पे डायरेक्शन में, मैग्नीट्यूड में. व्हाट्स गोना हैपन टू द angular momentum in that case? Okay, how do we find the angular momentum of a body about a point? Understand? Iska, you'll say, sir, we find the angular momentum of a body about a point. See, this was asked in JEE Mains, so many, like in 2014 also. This is a very important question. So if I talk about this mass, okay, this mass, okay, this is rotating in a, this is moving in a circle. Understand? When this mass is exactly at this point, can I say this will be its velocity? I call this as a velocity. Understand? This is its velocity. I call, for example, this is V. And in that case, this will be exactly radius R. If I talk about this point, जब मैं ये ले रहा हूँ point, so I am taking this point. I'm taking this radius. A mass is moving with velocity V. About this point, we are supposed to find angular momentum. This is radius R. That's why I'm taking this radius R. Okay. So what exactly I'm saying over here, this is the velocity V, this is the radius R. So elongate basically this radius R over here. Understand? So can you tell me what is the angular momentum of this one? You'll say, sir, angular momentum about point A will be nothing but that is MVR. Why MVR only? Because theta is 90 degrees over here. Angle between this R and this M is basically 90 degrees. So we say theta is 90 degrees, sine of 90 is 1. So this will be the angular momentum, that is MVR in that case. Point number 1. Okay. Now, at this point, can you tell me what is the angular momentum? You'll say, sir, this will be exactly the velocity and this is exactly the radius R. Okay, this is the radius R, this is the velocity V. So udhar pe bhi about this point, angular momentum will be MVR. Okay, angle between this and this is A. Over here, sir, this is the velocity, this is the radius. Understand? Ye radius hai na? Okay. So basically in this case, MVR. So at every point, the magnitude of angular momentum is coming out to be MVR. Okay. So can I say LA is constant in magnitude? Means it is same everywhere. Let's talk about the direction now. Listen to me very carefully. If I say this is R, understand? If I say this is V, okay, how to find the direction of angular momentum? You'll say, sir, R cross V, R cross V. Can I say over here it will be outwards? 100%. Or we say over here it is nothing but anti-clockwise, okay? Because we are rotating from R cross V in anti-clockwise direction, okay? So this will be exactly anti-clockwise, 100%. Now, if we talk about this one over here, can you tell me what will be the angular momentum in that case? This is R, this is V, R cross V, R cross V, R cross V. You will say, sir, this is also outwards. At this point, this is R, this is V, this is R, this is V, R cross V, R cross V, upward, outward, whatever you say. Understand? At this point, or this is something like this, this outward. Understand? Hey, 3D mein hai na, 3D mein. Is wale point pe this is R, this is V, R cross V, upward. At this point, this is R, this is V, upward. Okay, upward likho, don't write outward. This will be upward. Or anti-clockwise, okay? Or positive, whatever you say, if you are taking anti-clockwise as positive. Same over here. So we say LA is constant in direction as well. Fine. Let's talk about the LB. Let's talk about LB. चलो अभी ये भी है क्या? Listen to me very carefully. If I talk about this LB, किधर पे लिखूं? चलो, this was the first case, this was the second case. If I talk about this LB, चलो सही है, लाइट आ गई. So if I talk about this LB, can you tell me the angular momentum about this point? You'll say, sir, yes, we can tell you the angular momentum about this point. If I'm taking this as a mass, okay, this is the mass, okay. So can I say this will be the radius in that case? This is the radius in that case. Definitely I can say it's something like that, okay. This is the radius, this is the mass. And if I say this mass is basically moving in circle, at this point, can I say this will be exactly what? This will be exactly the velocity. By ऐसे जा रहा है ना, ऐसे, this is the velocity. एक second. So I can simply say this will be exactly the velocity in that case, okay? Fine. So this is the radius. Can I elongate this radius exactly something like this? Now you tell me one thing. How much is angular momentum about this point B? You'll say angular momentum about point B will be exactly. That is also MVR. Understand, mass of this is basically M. So we say MVR. What is the angle between R and this V? Angle between R and V is basically 90 degrees over here. We say theta is equal to 90 degrees over here. How? This is in 3D. I'm taking this point. This is basically rotating something like this. Okay, this is rotating something like this. This is in 3D. So this is the radius vector going something like this. This is what? This is the velocity and this is radius vector. What is the angle between velocity and radius vector? 90, because this is in 3D. This is not in 2D. This is in 3D. The velocity, mass is going something like this. The radius is basically, this is the velocity of the mass. This is the radius. This is the radius. Angle between this and this is 90 degrees. So we say that is MVR exactly. LB. At this point, this will come out to be same. Understand? ये 3D में है ना? ये at this point, at this point, at every point, this is coming out to be same. Okay? At every point, this is coming out to be same. At this point, this will come out to be same. At this point, say, sir, at this point, velocity of this one will be exactly something like this. And this will be exactly, radius will be something like this. Okay? This will be R. So this will be also at this point, MVR. Now, so we say LB is constant. Magnitude of LB is constant. Okay, fine. Now, what happens with the direction? Direction is variable. So we say direction is variable. How? See, R cross V, it is in this direction. If I talk about this is R, this is V. R cross V towards you people. Now, when the particle is exactly at this point, this is R, this is V. R cross V towards right. And over here, this is R, this is V. R cross V towards the board. Over here, this is R, this is V. R cross V outside. Understand? I hope you got it, man. I hope you got it. So we say LB is variable in direction. Okay, keep that thing in your mind. I hope everybody got it, man. Angular momentum of a purely rotating rolling body. What is rolling body? Tire basically rolls. Okay, if I say, for example, we have a body something like this. If I say we have, okay, this body is basically rolling something like this with omega, and this is moving with forward also. Understand? Fine, everybody got it, man. Rolling. If there is a tire, okay, that's rolling. There are two types of motions. We say, for example, this is moving in forward direction. If we basically push this block, this will move in a straight line. Understand? This is a translational motion. Now, if there is this block, if there is the same block exactly, if we fix it over here, understand, this block will exactly what? This will rotate. If we push this over here, if we apply the force, here rotate karega na, because we have basically pivoted over here. Understand? This will basically rotate. So now, if we combine this translational motion plus its rotational motion, understand? It's a rotational motion. Translational plus its rotational motion. Okay, the block is, there is a block in front of me on the table. I'm pushing this block, that's moving, skidding on this block in a straight line. Okay, now I'm taking the same block, I'm fixing it. Okay, now I'm rotating this block exactly. So this is rotating. If I combine this one and this one, what will be the resultant motion? That will be rolling motion, or we say planar motion, or simply say rolling motion. Okay, this is what we call the rolling motion. So over here, this disc, whatever you say, this disc is moving forward, as well as this disc is rotating as well as moving forward. Understand? So we say this is moving forward with a velocity COM, and this is rotating with a velocity that is omega, angular velocity. You got it, man? Any sort of confusion in this one? Then I can explain this once again. Come on, in the live chat, you can ask me, you can tell me. You got it? Okay, so what will be its angular momentum exactly? Okay, if I talk about this point, is point ke about, tell me what is its angular momentum. Can I say, or simply can I say its angular momentum will be exactly, that will be nothing but translational angular momentum plus it's a rotational angular momentum. Okay, LR, LT plus LR. How can we exactly find this one? See, if I talk about this mass, okay, if I talk about this disk, you imagine this disk is basically a small point mass which is placed on this one, okay? This disk is basically a very small mass which is placed on its center of mass only. Or you focus on its center of mass only. So its center of mass will be only moving in a forward direction, in a straight line, doing the translational motion. If a mass is doing a translational motion, if I focus on this one, okay, this mass is doing the translational motion. If I say mass of the disk is basically m, or this small m simply say, or this capital M you say. About this point, can you tell me its angular momentum? You will say, sir, if this is r about this point, its translational angular momentum or angular momentum about a point will be simply, that is nothing but, you'll say, sir, that is m into this r cross v. Okay, this is how we say. This is moving with VCOM, exactly, you can put it over here, VCOM. This is the radius r, mass is the m of the mass of the disk, exactly over here. What is the rotational angular momentum, sir? This LR. If the disk is rotating about an axis which is passing through its center of mass, what is the rotational angular momentum? Angular momentum of a purely rotating body, sir, that is I times of this omega. This is rotating with omega. I is what? That is moment of inertia of this disk, exactly. Can I say L is equal to, LT is how much? M into this is R cross V. This will be plus, और क्या था यार? Plus this I times of omega, I times of this omega. This is, we say, angular momentum of a rolling body. Understand? Translational angular momentum plus rotational angular momentum, because it is performing both the motions over here. Understand? About this point, this mass is moving angularly, so it will have translational angular momentum. That's why. Fine. So on the same concept, a question was asked in IIT JEE 1999 exactly. Okay, on the same concept. Yeah, अभी बस होने वाली है भाई बारिश, पता नहीं अभी exactly. It's gonna be okay. Yeah, very old, not old, it's very old. On the same concept this was asked. Okay. That's why मैंने यहाँ पे डाला है. Fine. Now we are given a disk. हमें क्या बोला है? There is a disk, exactly. Okay, this is a disk. This disk is basically moving forward with a velocity v. Same. And over here, this is rotating with the angular velocity omega. Understand? You are supposed to tell me the angular momentum about this point. Okay? इस point के about angular momentum बताना है. If the radius of the disk is basically r, mass is the m is the mass of the disk. Okay? This is what? This is the r what? ये दूसरा वाला r है, ठीक है? बोलो. So can I say in this case L net will be exactly simply that is LT plus this L rotational. So how much is this? You will say, sir, that is MVR. Understand? In this case, or you can take basically the perpendicular component of that one also. Understand? So this will be exactly, we say, sir, this will be, क्या निकलेगा यहाँ से यार ये? So we say this is simply that is nothing but m into that is r cross v. ऐसे ये वाला लगाओ, ठीक है? Velocity of center of mass. Understand? This moving with a velocity v in a forward direction, and this will be exactly plus this is LR, that is I times of omega. Understand? Where I will be the moment of inertia of this disk. How much is the moment of inertia of this disk? You will simply say, sir, that is nothing but mr square, exactly, mr square by 2. Understand? Just put it mr square by 2 over here. Answer by using this formula only. Understand? Radius is basically this r. Keep this thing in your mind. About this point you are supposed to tell me. Understand? So we say answer मैं बोलूंगा इधर पे answer in the comments. Okay, everybody drop the answer in the comments down below. Everybody fine? Okay, so take this. I of this one is nothing but mr square by 2. Okay, moment of inertia of disk about an axis which is passing through its center of mass, mr square by 2. Okay, over here you need to change this. V is equal to r times of omega. Understand? Keep that thing in your mind. Okay, so just drop the answer in the comments. So this was all about it. Now people, if you want the notes of every lecture that we give on this channel, you can join अरे ये वाला channel है, ठीक है? That is, this is the Telegram channel that you can join. Okay, fine, everybody, you can definitely go for this one. Next over here is, if you want to basically join our Plus platform, you can get this live classes every single day, weekly tests, structured courses, unlimited access. And if you take this Iconic subscription, you will be getting all the benefits that are mentioned on the screen itself. These are the benefits that you can, this is the price for Plus and this is the price for Iconic. You can use my code in order to get the maximum possible discount. So go for it as soon as possible. This is the bugs bounty. If you find any of my content as inappropriate, just report down below. Link is in the description below. Subscribe to this channel as soon as possible. Thank you so much, and hit the bell notification so that you will get the update every single time. Bye, take a chill pill. Thank you so much. Bye guys. चलो मैं निकलता हूँ, मेरे को भूख लग रही है भाई. Karthik, hey, what's up, buddy? I'm leaving now. Bye, 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 bye. Take care. You too.